The Global Leadership Summit is about to happen. I want to give you more details about that as we even have this discussion on leadership. So allow me to introduce the three gentlemen who are joining us here on set. Sitting closer to me, I have Reverend Ambrose Nyangao. It's good to have you here with us, sir.
Thank you.
And sitting next to the Reverend is another Reverend, Reverend Dr. Stephen Mairori. It's good to have you as well.
Thank you so much.
And next to the other Reverend, I have as well Mr. George Wachiuri, who is the CEO of Optiven Group. Gentlemen, it's good to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Perhaps let me begin with you, Mr. George. How would you describe leadership? What is leadership to you?
I think leadership is, a leader is anybody who makes decisions that affect other people. And of course, there are 850 definitions of leadership. 850? Definitions.
Wow.
Yes.
Is this according to the dictionary? Or according
different authors, different writers,
right.
Different leaders.
850. So, Dr. Reverend Stephen, which one stands out for you?
Leadership is influence.
Is influence.
It's influence. And all of us are in a position to influence someone.
Right.
And one of the other definitions that has caught my imagination is about moving people from here, a situation they are in, to there, a better place that you would like or they would like to be. And so if you are able to influence them make their lives better from a current situation to where they anticipate to be, that is great leadership.
All right, Reverend Ambrose, how do you describe leadership?
Leadership for me is character. And character is key. It's the core of a person, because character is not out there. A character is inside here. And each one of us must have character. And character can be positive, it can be negative. And character is a container. Can
leadership be positive and negative?
Yes. People can be led in a negative way. Or they can be led in a positive way, because leadership is about influence. And you can influence people to higher grounds, or you can influence people to lower grounds. Yes.
All right, so let me come back to you, George. There's this notion that we keep seeing that Africa is rising. It's been rising for 20 years, it's still rising. There's also the notion that tomorrow's young leaders, young people are tomorrow's leaders. Is tomorrow ever going to come? Is Africa going to keep rising? Let me begin with you, George. Thoughts on that.
I'm happy to be an African because Africa is land of opportunities.
Right.
We have resources, we have the people, we have good environment, and that's why that everybody, I travel a little bit in Europe and the US, everybody want to come to Africa because this is where the business is done. And we're happy that we are seeing our leaders, collapsing the borders. And of course, with the coming of digital economy, we are going to see a lot of transformation. So literally Africa is rising, and for young people who are aspiring to be leaders of tomorrow, tomorrow is now. And I'm happy that somebody says that, I think it's Uhuru Kenyatta who said leadership is not given. Leadership is seized. So for young people out there, don't wait for leadership to be passed on to you.
But we are trying. We are trying, Judge. We are trying.
You have to make things happen.
In the public sector.
Trying is one thing. Making things happen is another.
But young people are frustrated. And yet here we are. We're trying. We're really trying.
I think we should not generalize that there's total frustration. We have seen young people, young leaders who are doing so well in the economy, in the churches, and in our organizations. So a young person out there, you can be able to move out there and make things happen. Yes.
Oh, okay. And let me come to you, Reverend Stephen. This whole ideology, is Africa still rising? What will it take for Africa to stop rising, or rather for us to get to where it is that we keep saying that we are rising to?
I think the magic word is execution.
Execution.
Execution. I think we already have things in place. We have the skills that we need. I think this country, particularly Kenya, has the best skilled manpower. It has almost everything that we need in place. I think what needs to be done right now for us to take to the next level is to execute what we know.
Okay.
And if we can do that by prioritizing our budgets and putting things in the right place, I think we are ready to take off.
Right.
By the way, I think our young people have a lot of potential. Where we sit right now as a country is a moment that I think when we look back a few years, we'll be grateful that we are here. Because these pains that we are going through are critical for our growth. And so what the leaders need to do is to look back and say, what do we need to execute right now that will change our future?
So Reverend Ambrose, how do you then respond to, because they've touched on Africa. I grilled Judge a little bit on young people because he answered on that one. What's your response to young people being tomorrow's leaders? Tomorrow doesn't seem to be coming.
Let's say it the other way around.
Okay.
The young people are leaders of today.
Yes.
They're not leaders of tomorrow.
But is that the case?
They're leaders today.
Yeah.
And in terms of leadership, you're talking of inspiration.
Okay.
One of the greatest inspiration that has just happened to us as a country is what happened in Vienna.
And Chicago as well.
And Chicago as well.
Yep.
Because young people need to be inspired. When you talk about rising, an aeroplane does not rise without the engines and the power. And inspiration and passion is part of that. And many of our young people just need to be inspired. One of the things young people are discouraged because of the models they see, the examples they see, and that just keeps them down. But if they're able to get examples and mentors who are able to inspire them, I'm telling you, we will rise. We are rising.
Yeah.
And we are rising today.
Okay. What is stopping Africans from achieving what we can achieve? Because, you know, George, you've said it very well. Africa has the youngest population, perfect weather, resources. If we can, we could feed this world if we wanted to. But it's not the case. Why?
Like I said earlier, the environment needs to be created for the young people to engage. If you have an iron box, which is the electrical iron box, you can either iron your clothes without it being on power. But once it is on power, it's easy to iron your clothes. And so young people need to be connected to power. They need to be connected to good leadership and good governance. And amazing things will begin to happen. Yes.
All right, then, Reverend Dr. Stephen, how do we begin as citizens? Because, you know, he gave a fantastic description of what leadership is, character. You called it influence. But that influence can be abused. So how can citizens, how can, in whichever way you want to look at it, in politics, in religion, how can citizens, how can the flock keep leaders accountable? Be it in politics, be it in religion, be it in business, whatever it is, how do we keep people accountable?
You know, one of the things, since that we've looked at, I think, everyone is created in God's image, and everyone deserves the best in this world. And so I think as Kenyans, if we viewed ourselves that way, and we see this opportunity that God has given us in this world, and we would talk to ourselves as a nation and say, you know, we can make things happen that will make life better for everyone, not just for a few individuals, but for the younger people, for the older people, for everyone, because God wants us to have the best. We deserve the best. I think that mindset is needed. As Wachiuri had said, we have the potential. You are a young person here. You're a great leader, I see you.
Amen.
Yeah. And so I think we just need to have a shift of mind and remove this mindset of a small cake that you know we have to fight over. We can bake our cake as a nation and build a better nation for ourselves. And realizing that God wants the best for each one of us. I think with that in mind, we can do many things.
George, let me hear your thoughts on that, on how it is that we can keep our leaders accountable, in whatever field it is. Let
me say that, I said earlier that as long as you are watching us, you make decisions that influence other people. You are a leader. And for you to make leaders accountable, you must get involved. Right now, we are just about to change our leadership in the year 2012. I hear people say, I want to vote.
2022?
2022, for example. People say, I'm not going to vote. That is dangerous. Go there and make a decision. Evaluate what your leader has done, and then you say, are you going to renew the mandate of my leader?
You know, George, when we have these conversations with politicians, just as we did a few minutes ago, do our leaders reflect us as citizens, as voters, as religious folks? Are we a reflection of our leaders?
I think I would say yes, because we are the people who vote them. So when you complain, you are the one person who voted. And we call upon our people that when we vote, of course, our population are influenced, but you need to vote character, as Reverend Ambrose said, a person who can be able to deliver. And of course, there are other types of leadership, you know, church leadership. For me, I'm a head of an SME leadership. So this kind of leadership, and you're working for a certain leader, make them accountable by getting involved. You know, do you have a contact to your leader, to your boss, and you're able to engage with them? So, but many of us, millions of Kenyan people, they fear to engage. And if you don't engage, it means that the leader will keep doing the wrong things. For us, some of us, we are members of Kenya Private Sector Alliance. We are able to engage the government in business. I tell them, the business is low because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the government is able to listen. So find opportunities out there to participate in decision making, because if you don't participate, we'll be murmuring, we'll be complaining, and the buck stops with us.
Right. And I believe, gentlemen, all of you will be participating in the Global Leadership Summit.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I can see you want to jump into that. I'm coming to that. That's actually my second last question because of time. Let me come to Reverend Ambrose. Because you described leadership as character.
Yes.
What are the ingredients of a good leader?
The ingredients of a good leader, the one that I like is honesty.
Okay.
Because these are values, they are key, honesty. And you're talking about who should hold who accountable. I believe we, first of all, must hold ourselves accountable. Before I am disciplined, I need to be self-disciplined. Before I expect others to be honest, I need to be honest. Before I expect somebody to inspire me, I need to be inspired myself. So it starts with me. And I believe that honesty is a very key area of character because it helps handle many things that are a challenge to us as a nation.
So honesty. Dr. Stephen, yours?
One of it for a great leader, or an ingredient of character.
Yes.
Of course, we talk about it in Kenya most of the time. We talk of courage.
Yours is courage.
Courage, but let me add also integrity, particularly for our country. I think that is very key.
Beautiful. So,
yes.
Courage and integrity,
yes.
And honesty.
Yes.
George?
I think a leader needs to be visionary.
Visionary.
Where are you taking your people? What is your vision? And what's your personal vision or corporate vision? What's the country vision? And a leader needs to rally people together to follow this particular vision. So it becomes like a religious movement because they are pursuing a certain vision.
Right.
For example, where I work, we pursue a certain vision to socially, to economically and socially empower and transform the communities. So whatever we do in the morning, we are empowering people. We are economically and socially.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Stephen, our time is up, but I want you to share with us details about the Global Leadership Summit.
The Global Leadership Summit is here. We've had it here in Nairobi for the last 12 years. It is a 2-day leadership training, actually, that is filled with speakers who will inspire you, will share with you skills that would help transform if you're in business or you work for government or parachurch organization or a place like Citizen. It brings to us world-class leaders, but also people who've made a difference in their place. We have a great lineup of speakers, and it's going to be on the 17th and 18th here at Sitam Valley Road. Begins on the 17th at 8 in the morning, and I want to welcome everyone. You can't miss to be part of this.
Is it free? Is it open?
Oh.
Or is there a cost?
There is a cost, yes. And a very subsidized cost.
Yes.
If you come on that day, it will be 2,500. But if you are a group and you can do that right away, you will save a lot. It's 1,800 now as a group, and as an individual, it's 2,000. And you can pay that. We have a pay bill number. It is 825500, and the account is GLS 2019.
All right.
And if you have a number, if you'd like to call a number, it is 0722 490 325. That is the number, 0722 490 325. Would like to encourage as many of you to register. One of the speakers actually is talking about this issue we've been talking about, the generational gap. And I think as a parent or as a young person, you don't want to miss. They are the top experts on issues generational gaps.
So a group consists of how many?
10.
10.
10. 10 and above.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. That's none other than Reverend Dr. Stephen Mairori alongside Reverend Ambrose Nyangao. And on this other side, we had George Wachiuri, who is the CEO of Optiven Group. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. You learn something new every day. 850 descriptions of what leadership is. My goodness. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Zinzi.
Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll still have a lot more for you. Willis Raburu is on standby.